Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Was it just me, or was 2024 a slightly underwhelming year for Seiko? They did drop a couple of crackers, but they also dropped more than their fair share of clangers, in my humble opinion anyway. Can they finish the year strong? Can they rescue their 2024 with the release of yet another limited edition from their Cocktail Time series, the latest Star Bar? Star Bar is of course a famous Tokyo venue whose resident mixologists have inspired seemingly countless Seiko Cocktail Time special editions over the last decade now. Although I must admit, when I think of Star Bar, I think of this rather than a venue in Ginza. It's an unboxing and initial impression style video today, and I have one man to thank for it. That man being Marty from Queensland. Marty has been sending me watches down on loan for review for years now, but I finally got to meet him at an event in Brisbane a couple of months ago. Thank you, Marty, you're a lovely man. Is Marty's new watch as lovely as he is? Let's flip the camera and find out. All right, let's get into it, and let's try if we can to get as quickly as possible to the real reason why people buy Seiko Pressage Cocktail Times. And that, my friends, is not because of the packaging. Watch Depot, Marty, I could have picked this one up for you rather than them sending it all the way to Queensland and you sending it all the way back down to me. Watch Depot are a Sydney-based company. So it's not the packaging, it's not the warranty. Now, Watch Depot are an authorised dealer. You'll get a 3-year warranty on a Seiko here in Australia with them. If you're buying it on eBay, for example, you'll generally get a year. If you buy it from the Seiko boutique, you get 5 years, but the prices never justify it. So it's not the packaging, it's not the warranty. Let's be honest, it is not the bracelets, it's not the crystal, it's not even the movements, it's the dials. That's why I buy them. I'm sure that's why Marty bought this one. So what do we got? Star Bar, Nighttime Tokyo. There is the man himself that you saw in the intro. I'm not actually gonna, oh, it's not bad. Hisashi Kishi. I feel I did that some justice rather than butchering it. All right, let's get straight to it, and there it is, and yes, that dial is lovely. There we go. That is a very, very pretty little thing. Indeed, is it not? Now, in terms of model reference, SRPK 93J1, and as you can see there, caliber 4R35. Like I said, you're not necessarily buying this one for the movement, especially given the price they're charging. Talking of price, Marty got his from Watch Depot, $649. Interestingly enough, that's the cheapest price I could find on this watch here in Australia, just over $400 US, and $250 off the RRP already. Brand new model. I also see they have the SRPE at the moment for $200, less than 200 Aussie. That's a great deal. Same movement though. Like I said, you're not buying the Star Bar for the movement. You're buying it for the dial. All right, let's get the stickers peeled then and get the macro lens out to have a look at it. All right, we're back, we're sized, and we're set, even though that did take a little longer than anticipated thanks to an encounter with Seiko's pin and collar system. Honestly, it makes you wish for push pins sometimes. I'm not sure I've ever heard anybody say that they enjoy sizing bracelets using Seiko's pin and collar system, especially on a bracelet like this where the collar is on one of the inner links. Anyway, never mind. Now, in terms of dimensions, this should be a familiar case, size, shape, etc. to most people. Whisper it quietly. They use the same case, they just put a new dial on there and call it a new model. So this one is 40.5mm in diameter, 12.3mm thick, with a lug-to-lug of bang on 47mm. 20mm between the lugs. As sized for my 7-inch wrist, plenty of spare links, by the way. This one weighs in at exactly 120 grams. 50 meters of water resistance, push-pull crown only. Perfectly sufficient for this style of watch. That is a piece of lovely domed, but only mineral crystal. It's hard like, so domed mineral crystal. And as discussed, the movement in the back is a 4R35. And there it is. Go on, let's do the last sticker. Thank you very much, Marty, for letting us all enjoy the peeling and revealing of your brand new Star Bar. Now, 4R35, commonly known as the NH35 when found in a watch that isn't a Seiko, they do at least put a custom rotor on there, as you can see, but they don't do anything else with it. 23 jewel hacking, a hand winding automatic. You'll probably get around plus 10 seconds per day average from one of these movements.
From my experience of several hundred of them, that is generally where they sit. And do note this is a limited edition, though not particularly limited. Marty owns number 5249 out of 9,000. It's very simple, very traditional case on all of these pressages, pretty much high polish throughout. And it may only be a piece of mineral crystal, but it is a rather nice piece of big, tall, double dome mineral crystal. They could certainly get this one under 12 mil if it wasn't for that crystal, if they'd chosen to put on something slightly less voluminous. Nice crown though, Seiko etched, Seiko traditional S in there, and it does flare out. It is a pleasure to grip and to operate when the need arises. Bracelet, yeah, like I said, nobody's buying these for the bracelets either. These look like 5 links, but are in fact only single links, so you don't get much articulation from them. And did you notice earlier on? Hollow end links. I can't think of too many other brands that are trying to charge 900 Australian dollars for a watch with a bracelet with hollow end links in 2024. Anyway, no Seiko engraving either side of the clasp, and it's only the most basic butterfly you get here. You can close it in either direction though, and half links. Now I had to remove one, but you do get 2 half links, so at least you have a little bit of flexibility regarding fit, something you don't get with a butterfly clasp very often. But never mind about the end links. Look at that dial. It is gorgeous. I love the color combination here. Apparently the dial is supposed to shine like the Tokyo skyline at night or some other such nonsense. It's beautiful regardless. The patterning on this one reminds me of the Hojicha roasted green tea pressage that I had up until I sold it earlier on this year. Perhaps the patterning on this one is not quite as rough as it was on my Hojicha, but yeah, just beautiful, constantly shifting depending on angle, depending on light conditions, and the rest of the dial ain't too bad either. Those are beautiful applied indices. Love the yellow gold color they have used for these ones, faceted down the middle, beautiful arrowhead shapes, applied Seiko logo also in gold. Very simple Dauphine hands, although Seiko has once again used that trick they use so often and so effectively of frosting one half of the hand and leaving the other half high polished. Now not only does that give extra light play, but it also gives extra legibility. Not that that's a main consideration on a watch like this, but hey, it's never gonna hurt, is it? Lovely second hand as well, literal needle second hand with a hollow counterbalance. Very, very nice touch. Frame around the date complication also in yellow gold at the 3 o'clock, and it's a roughly colour match date wheel. It's black, that's probably the best they could have done, given the fact that the dial colour itself does constantly shift between grey, silver and back to black on certain angles. I give Seiko a hard time when I feel it's justified, but I am always the first person to give them credit where I feel it's justified as well. It's fully justified in this case. They make the best affordable dials in the business, and this star bar is right up there with the best of them. On wrist, it is nice and comfortable. The bracelet may not exactly be a technical tour de force, but at least it is comfortable. It's nice and smooth, no sharp edges. 120 grams is a good weight considering the size of the watch, and it feels reasonably balanced despite the fact that there isn't much weight on the underside of the wrist because of the small butterfly clasp. But again, who cares? It's the dial, and the dial is lovely. In terms of legibility, as noted, the hands do get a little bit of extra help because of their dual finish, half frosted, half high polish, but again, that's not really, like the water resistance, I'm not going to complain about the legibility because that's not really what this one is all about. Tell us then, Jody, what are you going to complain about today, if not the legibility and the water resistance? Well, the size. They do tend to go for this 40.5 size quite regularly. I guess they go for it because it sells, but I've always felt it was perhaps a mil and a half larger than ideal for this style of watch, hence my personal preference for a different pressage. This is my Irish coffee pressage, again from the Cocktail Time series. My enduring preference for a slightly different cocktail. I like this one. I like this 39.5mm case, my Irish coffee pressage that I've had for a couple of years now. Haven't seen this case elsewhere though, only on this model. Yeah, they do tend to go for the slightly bigger one, so do take note. And certainly for the RRP, this piece of crystal, as nice as it is, could and should be sapphire crystal rather than mineral crystal, especially when you consider that on AliExpress for a little more than 200 or 300 Australian dollars rather than 900 Australian dollars, you can get a watch with an equally impressive piece of crystal made from actual sapphire. And those hollow end links, there's no excuse for them whatsoever other than Seiko trying to save a few yen. But may I refer my learned friends to the answer I gave some moments ago. You don't buy a Seiko Pressage Cocktail Time for the bracelet, the end links, or anything other than the dial really, which is just as well because it does have certain deficiencies, but there are certain areas where it is absolutely outstanding. And this star bar dial is up there with the very best that I've seen from the brand. So there you have it, absolutely gorgeous. Thank you very much again, Marty. I will get this one back up in the post to you forthwith, my friend. If you want to see a couple more beautiful Seiko Cocktail Time dials, click here or here. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.